Sipenga wide, Lukau, Mutasami and Siddiqui in midfield, and Wissa up front. Referee today, Adam McAdney from Jordan, who officiated the Spain against Cape Verde game. England in all white today, and the Congolese are holding their inner Coventry in sky blue with gold numbers on the back. Well, the field is thinning out. Italy didn't qualify. Uruguay didn't get out the group. The Germans and the Dutch have already paid the penalty in the knockout stages. Now it's England back in the spotlight, the first of 5 potential knockout ties on a day when victory means Mexico in the Azteca and defeat means that today will never be forgotten. England's knockout stage journey starts here in Atlanta, Georgia. England kick it from right to left. The ball played back to Jordan Pickford, who slams it forward. Harry Kane going up for it. Has he won the first corner? No, not quite. Masuaku comes across the cover and is able to play the ball forward. Stopped it going out for a corner, but not a throw. It's going to be a good battle out from an England perspective. Harry Kane up against the former Newcastle player, Chancellor Mbemba, playing at centre-half. England with a real sprightly start to this game. Ball pulled back, but only after it had just gone over the dead ball line. And it's out of play for a goal kick, but already a marauding run forward from Declan Rice, which is encouraging to see. 40 seconds in, and you and I in the company, as always, of the England legend Stuart Pearce.
Hi Jim, yeah, really looking forward to this one. I've got to say, I've got that feeling. I know there's nervousness around certain England supporters and whatever. I think we'll absolutely give these a tonking today. I just got a feeling. I don't think they've got the quality or the know-how to be able to deal with us, and the trick, as always, is in our hands in many ways.
All about tempo, about being able to take the game to the opposition. And that's something that England in the early stages have shown a real willingness to do. Ball played by Mbemba across to Axel Tuanzebe, now down to Arthur Masuaku on the Congolese left. Johan Wissa drops short, shows for it, plays it back inside his own half. Mbemba receiving a pass at 10 yards inside his own half, venturing forward towards halfway before just lifting one nonchalantly over the top. There was an inch-perfect pass for Johan Wissa, but he made his run a little bit too early. The offside flag is up, and it's a free kick that will be taken by England, level the edge of their own penalty area. You would talk sport. 2 minutes gone. 0-0. As the ball is played forward down the England left-hand side and chased by Marcus Rashford down towards the corner flag. Rashford's ball in towards Kane, who just dropped deep. He was immediately under pressure from 3 Congolese players. This was something we were talking about in the build-up, Stu, that they have a real willingness to throw bodies forward in close attendance to each other on occasion. And we saw it there with Kane picking up possession. And immediately as he looked up, he had 4 within 5 yards.
Which I think will suit us in many ways. If we can do that and draw them to either side of the pitch in numbers, all of a sudden the one thing you have got is space on the opposite side of the pitch.
Pass to the goalkeeper, taking a touch and only just having time for a second as he was charged down so quickly by a run from Jude Bellingham. Well, there's an intensity about the press from this Congolese team, but it's been matched in these early stages by an intensity from England, who obviously feel that Mpassi with the ball at his feet is an accident waiting to happen, and Jude very nearly charged him down in time there.
Yeah, he certainly did. He went with real purpose and intent and was really unfortunate not to get a block on the ball.
Here's Tuanzebe. Work forward towards Siddiqui in midfield. The Sunderland man had an excellent first season in the Premier League on Weir side. Mbemba back to his goalkeeper, Mpassi again. Congolese ranked in the mid-40s in both sets of world rankings, very slightly higher in the ELO ratings than they are in the FIFA list. England's record under Thomas Tuchel in matches against top 40 opposition is an exemplary one defensively. They haven't conceded a single goal against the side outside the top 40 yet since Tuchel took over. Now they'll be able to find space with Kane pinging it out towards the right-hand side for Noni Madueke, who ended up under a little bit of pressure from Masuaku, almost tackling himself, but he can lay back for Elliot Anderson. Anderson's ball behind square, helped on round the corner by O'Reilly. Rice has got Rashford to his left-hand side near the edge of the penalty area, swung in deep, and Passy made the correct decision to dive with his hands in past the flight of the ball to allow it to roll over the dead ball line and out of play for a goal kick. But England playing with a good tempo inside the opening 4 minutes here on TalkSport.
Yeah, and there's spaces on the pitch, you know, probably DR Congo's best opportunity defensively is keeping possession of the ball and starving England of it if they can. I think great opportunity for Madueke to take Masuaku on there. He couldn't get the ball under control, and when it was switched to the opposite wing, he should be tucking in right on the shoulder of Masuaku.
Here's Axel-Tuan Zebi. He's one of the narratives in this game that he's playing against. One of the guys who went to school with him, Marcus Rashford. Must have been some school team that. England have it at the back with Mark Gahey. It's rolled forward into the feet of Declan Rice, who's got the time to turn. Wilson comes to try and engage, and Mukau will push forward from the midfield three to do likewise. It's almost a 4-1-4-1 formation that the Congolese are playing at the moment. Mutasami, who's a really gifted player in the heart of their midfield that makes them tick. He's got possession now, and he's sitting as the deepest of the three central midfielders with a real wave of curly hair. And he's got it again now into the feet of Johan Wissa, and laid back immediately for Buku on the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka behind him. Ball's gone out of play for a throw. They're taken quickly by the Congolese in their sky blue kit. They're kicking from left to right everywhere you look here at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. White shirts, particularly away to our left behind the goal that England are attacking in this first half. So many England fans here today, and their support, as always, should really be commended. DR Congo in possession. Mutasami dropping deep, splitting the centre halves, finding Chancellor Mbemba coming forward into England territory. Looks like he's overhit the ball, but Spencer's been caught under the flight of it, and Pickford's been to the near post. First sight of goal, and Sipenga gives the Congolese the lead. And all it has taken is one aerial ball over the top. Spence defending too narrow. Sipenga, the left winger, coming in off that flank, taking it down, beating Pickford at his near post. This was not in the script. On a day when England have started well, they are a goal behind in 7 minutes. Brion Sipenga with the most famous goal in Congolese football history.
Well, we'll find out whether England have got the credentials to go anywhere in this tournament at this moment in time. And there was talk at the run from just inside the box. I think Spence is a bit late to come across and deal with it. By the time he's got across, it's gone beyond him to his man. I think Anderson maybe has not tracked the runner, and then Pickford beaten on his near post. Horrific start for England.
Well, now they do have a problem. It's a celebration as well from Brion Sipenga, who's channeled his inner Lamana Luar there. England trailing by a goal to nil. Only the third goal that they've conceded in this tournament so far. And they send a long ball forward into the Congolese penalty area, where Passy has taken an awkward fall. He's come out to claim a ball, has gone over the top of Arda Masuaku, who is down holding his left arm, and the goalkeeper is in no end of pain, lying on his back inside the 6-yard box. This will give England at least the time to reset and contemplate what has gone wrong with the concession of that goal. But we talked in the last 10 minutes of the game in New York the other day, Stu, about the chances that were being ceded by England when there was very little pressure on them. And we've seen it again already here.
Yeah, we certainly have. I mean, a ball of that distance should be picked off. I think Spencer's got a man outside him, admittedly, but the real danger's in the centre of the goal, where we've had a run from sort of a number 10 position. I think he should be picking that up slightly earlier, that run. But either way, he's got two players to deal with, one outside him, one inside him. And by the time he's come across to deal with the inside of him, it was too late and there was a clear shooting opportunity. But the bottom line is, England's game plan now will be hinged on how good are we pressing to get this ball off of Congo. I think this DR Congo's best opportunity defensively is to keep the ball away from England, and at this moment in time they've demonstrated they can.
9 minutes gone. England 0, DR Congo 1. Brian Sepenga with the goal. Let's go pitch side and catch up with TalkSport England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Faye?
Many of the England players went over to Thomas Tuchel and Anthony Barry just then. Jude Bellingham in particular was really irritated, grabbed a water bottle. They're pumped for this now, and they're really going to have to get themselves back into this game as quickly as possible.
Well, if you're going to concede a daft goal, make it in the first 10 minutes rather than the last 10. England's record not great when they've come into matches in adversity. They have never won a World Cup match in 90 minutes when they've conceded first. Never. The only time that they've ever come back from 1-0 down in a World Cup game was when they beat West Germany in the 1966 final. Work to do here. They trail to DR Congo by a goal to nil. A very eminently preventable goal with 10 minutes in.
Sepenga's causing England a big problem, actually. He's tucking in from that left-hand side and he's going in an inside left position. So Jed Spence doesn't know whether to tuck him with him and leave his man outside. Someone's got to pick him up. If not, we're going to have a creation of what's conceded the goal just a minute ago.
Well, tactically, it's been an excellent start from Sébastien Desabre, the Congolese coach. The Leopards springing a shock in terms of their formation. They're playing a 4-5-1. Nobody saw that coming. All the word coming out of the England camp was that they expected it to be a 5-3-2. And in fairness, I think all of us preparing for the game were absolutely convinced it was going to be a 5-3-2. They've started with the back four. Sepenga's unorthodox positioning causing problems, and England have got to try and find some solutions. They have possession on the edge of the centre circle. Declan Rice taking the ball on his left foot, then onto his right. Certainly not time to panic yet. Spence, here's Bellingham, dropping deep. Back to the first knockout game that England played in the Euros 2 years ago when they found themselves a goal down to similarly ranked Slovakia. And it all came good in the end, just about. Here's Nico O'Reilly. He's 10 yards inside Congolese territory. Johan Wissa will put pressure on Anderson, who's dropped deep to get in between England's two centre-halves. Ezri Konsa passes it forward. Space for Bellingham to receive it. Then it's knocked down the line for Noni Madueke. The challenge comes in on him from Masuaku. Puts it out of play. Antoine Zebi's got the last touch. It's gone out for a throw, which will be taken on the England right.
Yeah, just looking at the lineup of DR Congo, Mutusami, their playmaker at the base of their midfield, has been tasked to do a similar job to Partey for Ghana a few days ago, just looking over his shoulder and shielding anything into Harry Kane's feet.
Well, that was the blueprint, wasn't it? Really, how to play against England, and they've taken it. A little bit of fine tweaking, but Mutusami playing just in front of those two centre-halves in the early stages here. A neat turn in the midfield from Noni Madueke. Trying to combine with Spence down the England right. Now it's played back towards Bellingham. Rice is taking up some really advanced positions in these early stages. He's up level with Harry Kane as England working back now for O'Reilly. O'Reilly down to the England left. Here's Marcus Rashford, 76th cap for England today, coming in off that left flank. And lays the ball back for Mark Gahey. Gahey to Konsa. Nap the space out on the England right-hand side for Madueke, running it after Masuaku. And then turning away, getting away from Mukau. Ball swung inside the penalty area, is brought down by O'Reilly. There is a briskness and good tempo about England as they work it forward here, and they run their first corner on the left-hand side after good work from Declan Rice. 13 gone, 1-0 to Congo.
Yeah, it's really important that we do switch that ball nice and quickly. And when we get it in those wide areas, as we spoke about before, don't be afraid to cross it and overload the box.
England behind to a goal scored by a player who plies his trade in the Spanish second division. Congolese with 9 back inside their own penalty area, and the in-swinging delivery was into a really good area actually, but England just didn't get a runner in towards the far post, and Rice looks up to the heavens as his corner drifts past everybody, as if to say, well, something's gone wrong there because I put it where I should have done. Yeah,
as I say, he's popped it. If you pop a corner in, it lands in the 6-yard box, you can fully expect one of your teammates to get on the end of it.
So here come DR Congo again, bringing the ball forward over halfway. Clearance from O'Reilly wasn't the best, and very nearly got seized upon in the midfield there by Wissa. England turning it over with Anderson. Still a little bit of space for Anderson in the midfield, but to work back instead towards the edge of the penalty area. Now played in by Bellingham with the outside of the right boot, but past Madueke and Kane. Out of play for a goal kick. 1-0 to DR Congo, who've come into this match on the back of only 1 win in their last 5. England with only 5 defeats in their last 44, and 4 of those 5 defeats were on home soil. Haven't been beaten on foreign soil since the final of the Euros. Here's Pickford with the ball at his feet for England at the back, 15 minutes in. Certainly there was any complacency amongst the England supporters about what today might bring. That's already evaporated. And we're getting it forward again, down on the right-hand side. Madueke combining well with Spence. Spence is ball inside the penalty area. Diving header away. Comes back outside the box towards Anderson. Anderson to Mark Gahey. Gahey inside the centre circle with another long aerial ball out of the England right-hand side, which brought down by Spence. Madueke made a run into an offside position. Spence appreciated that, couldn't play the pass. Madueke's got himself back onside now, and after an intervention from Bellingham, England have it again. Just looking for this long switch to try and be able to get players in. Rice. O'Reilly making a run ahead of him. Rice threads it in. O'Reilly deals with a brisk pass that wasn't quite into his path. And swung inside the penalty area and punched away before he got the Bellingham. And it's brought down by Sipenga on the Congolese left, and he has won a free kick left with the edge of the penalty area. 16 minutes in, England trailing 1-0.
England have done quite well getting beyond Masuaku, but the cross has got to be slightly better. We've got the ball into those areas, little blind runs beyond. Cross has got to be better. And this area in the inside left position that DR Congo are exploiting. You saw the goal from there, and there's been a couple of times also where Spence doesn't know whether to tuck in or stay wide, and either a midfield player's got to stay with the midfield player that gets in that hole, or the centre halves have got to pick him off.
Chesting the ball down, he's inside his own half. Anderson getting it forward, but he's played it too far down the right-hand touchline away from Noni Madueke, and out of play for a throw, which the Congolese will take on the left. The only previous World Cup back in 1974, when, as Zaire, they failed to score in all 3 games. Yugoslavia put 9 past them, but they qualified after beating Nigeria in the African playoff final on penalties. And won the Interconfederation playoff by beating Jamaica by a 1-0. The defensive record is pretty sound, and England have got to try and work out how to create some chances here. Now the ball goes out to the left. Sipenga in towards the edge of the penalty area. Sipenga, and Gahey stepped up, just flicked it away. Then Sipenga goes down on 2 England players leaning for each other on the edge of the box. Lack of communication here. Spence should be able to remedy it. It might come at the expense of a corner. He has in fact just kept it in, but the 2 England centre-halves there just on completely cross purposes, on different wavelengths. Now the ball's played back for Pickford when he's under all kind of pressure. England are panicking. Defensively, there is shambles at the moment. They will be able to get it forward through the midfield now towards Bellingham. This feels like a game that England might need to score 3 in to win. Challenge comes in as a rash one from Bellingham. Went round the side, might have gotten a little bit of the ball, certainly got his man. And there are 2 or 3 rolls. And the referee is going to produce a yellow card for Jude Bellingham.
Cool heads are needed, Jim, there's no doubt about that. Tension's high. The early goal for DR Congo has shaken us a little bit, and defensively we are looking a bit nervous. I'm just looking, as I say, that left-hand side, they're getting players forward into that area. There was a 5-on-3 overload on the left-hand side of the pitch, and we've got to make sure we deal with that.
Now the ball is played in by Buku. Now goes straight out of play for a goal kick that Jordan Pickford will take. This hydration break can't come soon enough, because Thomas Tuchel needs to get his players over and to be able to get in their heads as much as anything else to sort things out. Because they had that farcical moment where the 2 centre-halves left the ball for each other on the edge of the box.
They certainly did, and as I say, it's one of those, every time we look shaky at the back, you think to ourselves, goodness me, those old words, are we good enough defensively to win a World Cup? Well, we don't look defensively good enough to stay in a World Cup, let alone win one at the moment, Jim.
20 minutes in, England still without a shot on target. They haven't had a meaningful touch of the ball in the Congolese penalty area up to this point, and they trail by a goal to nil, scored by Brian Sipenga, who's never played a top division league game in his career, has never scored an international goal before today, but he's made a real name for himself already here in Atlanta. Not the best ball out from the back by any stretch of the imagination from Pickford. Passy, the goalkeeper at the other end, works it down towards Mbemba, and Mbemba's been able to play his way out past the press. Down on the Congolese right, they will bring it forward. Another sliding challenge comes in, this one from Rashford, and the referee has given a free kick against him. The boos and whistles you can hear from the England supporters, because they feel that every challenge is being punished, whether it's an indiscretion or not, and that it's a free kick every time one of the Congolese players goes down.
Well, I've got to say, the last couple I've seen, the booking for Bellingham and the challenge by Rashford were certainly free kicks, so we can't complain about that too much.
No, absolutely. As Maswaku plays the ball down towards Sipenga. Sipenga's got a little step over, a little bit of a turn of pace as well, but his distribution there was poor. He's passed it straight back to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham clipping it out of the left-hand side for Rashford. And it's just sailed past him and out of play. This is really ragged. The last 10 minutes makes it look as though England feel that they might already be beaten, even though there's still such a long time to go in this game. It's still 70 minutes for England to salvage the situation. It's already been a World Cup full of late goals, with sides being able to come from behind and turn situations around. Even the round of 16 has already seen that, with Japan having led against Brazil for nearly half an hour. England will bring it forward here. Noni Madueke over on the right-hand side. He's pulled it back here for Jed Spence. Spence to Konsa, and now to Gahey. O'Reilly is the easy pass. Oh, he's played a more progressive one than Rashford, who looked to see where the ball was going next. He took his eye off the ball, and it's just gone straight over his left foot and out of play. The boos now for the hydration break, and Thomas Tuchel has got a big 3 minutes ahead of him here. Let's go pitch side and speak to Faker Runners.
There are boos for the hydration break, but I tell you what, we've not liked it up till now, because we've had the ascendancy. We need it right now. And Thomas Tuchel is stalking around with his arms crossed. He's spoken to Jude Bellingham and made a crossing action with himself. He was sitting on the bench a moment ago, furiously writing in his notebook, considering what he's going to do. He's now got the players around him. He's speaking to Harry Kane and he's speaking to Jude Bellingham as we speak, giving them instruction. Jude is defending himself at a moment, because he did have that rash challenge where he got a yellow card. Not helpful in this situation. I know that he wants to get us back into the game and receive the ball like that, but you've just got to be careful. This calls for calm heads, and interestingly, Thomas Tuchel said to me yesterday they're calm going into this game. They feel anything but on the pitch.
Well, Jude Bellingham is still being spoken to, and having picked up that early yellow card, if there is a suspicion that sometimes the red mist can fall on a player who's one of the most talented that England have ever had, And they've just got to be able to calm him down so that they can really harness all the positives, the many positives that Jude Bellingham brings here. Stuart?
They certainly have. The one thing that kills you in any knockout competition, you lose a man through ill discipline. You cannot afford to do that. You've got to make sure we calm it down. We've been shaken, there's no doubt about that. You can see it in the performance of the team, but we've got to make sure that we don't slip into a scenario where we get loose, we get ragged. We've got to keep doing the things that we think have been put into place with a game plan. That's getting the ball out wide. Don't turn in opportunities down like Madueke did just then, of taking his man on and getting the ball in the box and getting numbers in the box. We've got to keep asking questions and fill that dam up with some form of pressure.
What most concerns you about a really bad 22 minutes?
The defensive side of our game, this inside left position where over one of the advanced midfield players advanced into that area, which freed up the space for Sipenga. And I'm going to ask a question: why is Jed Spence? He's got a man outside him and a man inside him, which is difficult. He should have freed himself up from the outside man earlier to deal with the ball with a runner coming in, because that was the main. He got caught in two minds. It went over both of them, and obviously Sipenga got on the ball and finished really well. That's the problem at this moment in time, Jim. Let alone whether we can get a goal, is whether we can keep our ball out the net and stop them scoring another one.
Have you been surprised at England's mentality in the 15 minutes since the concession? Because it has looked as though it's floored them. It's not just an uppercut to the chin, it's put them on the deck.
It has. You're exactly right there. As I say, we're almost playing panic football instead of playing quick football. But keep moving the ball, keep moving it quickly.
And they'll try and do that now, though maybe the flag might come up against Madueke if anything comes from this. It's gone on inside the penalty area, it's gone to the ground, the referee just turns away, almost disdainfully, and the Congolese will be able to bring it forward. It's a poor pass. Jed Spence comes across and cuts it out. At least it looked as though he had. He's eventually able to poke it forward up the right-hand touchline, but Mutasami, the big number 8 in the Congolese midfield, can get his foot on it and lay it back for Axel Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe, who made one appearance for England's under-21s back in 2017. Currently unattached, but being linked with a move to Coventry. Plenty of Premier League experience with this Congolese team. A number who were born in England as well, including Aaron Wan-Bissaka and also Aaron Tishbola, who's playing his club football these days for Kilmarnock. He's on the bench for the Congolese. England in possession. It's the African side that have the lead. England have never lost a game in a tournament to an African team. They'll bring the ball forward here. That's much better from Spence. And at the second attempt, they were able to wipe him out. They had a good go the first time round. Siddiqui coming across and making the challenge, and he leans over Jed Spence almost by way of apology. But a yellow card is shown.
Yeah, much better. England are proving at this moment in time they're having a bit more joy down that right-hand side, having more ball down that right-hand side of the pitch, and they've got to keep foraging away there and keep pressure on their back line.
Well, they've got to try and get Harry Kane into the game a little bit more. Just 5 touches for him before that hydration break. There's a free kick here, which will be taken on the England right. 3 yards in from the right-hand touchline. England with 6 across the edge of the penalty area. Declan Rice raises his left arm above his head. Played through the box. He's taken a deflection and is spooned wide by Ezri Konsa, who wouldn't have expected the ball to get to him. He's almost hit his right foot, bounced off him, and gone just wide with the goalkeeper going the wrong way.
Yeah, hideous defending there by DR Congo, and the ball's just come across. No one anticipated it getting that far.
And England turning possession over again. A good press from them that time. Nicely worked by Bellingham. Out towards Madueke. He's got to take Masuaku on. He does. Tuanzebe can clear. Well, whatever Thomas Tuchel said in that hydration break has seemingly sorted a few things out, certainly offensively. And England with more of the ball in better areas over the 3 minutes since the resumption. They have it again with Anderson. You're with Talk Sport. Winners of this going to Mexico to face one of the co-hosts in the Azteca. That is a game that kicks off 1 a.m. Monday morning. Great start to your working week. We got it covered for you. Lie in bed and listen to the winners of this one against Mexico, which we still hope will be England. They're looking for an equaliser here with Rice. Good ball in, headed towards goal. Passy beats it away. Maybe should have been a more comfortable save than he made it. Jude Bellingham coming under it at the far post. Powered his header in. A very central header. And Passy, the save for the cameras, threw out the left hand and beat it away. Rice forward for Anderson. This is better now from England, though. Stop panicking. At least take the panic scale from 10 down to an 8.5. Konsa. Gay to his left. Play forward in towards Bellingham. Very influential in these early stages. He's got it again. Another nice ball. First time one down towards Declan Rice. Rice out towards Rashford. Rashford pushing forward. Trying to take on Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Former Manchester United teammate. Play back instead towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Anderson. Rashford again showing a reluctance to try and take on Wan-Bissaka. Plays a conservative pass through the midfield for Anderson. Rashford has it again. First time ball. Darted in from the touchline. Now he'll make a run round the back of Wan-Bissaka. But the ball to him, not quite good enough. It was a little brisk. Now Bellingham acknowledges that. He sticks his right thumb up. But it was a better idea from England, just working the opportunity, drawing Wan-Bissaka out, trying to hit the space behind him, but they couldn't quite.
Yeah, really good effort there by Bellingham. Just couldn't get the power on it. Comfortable save. Goalkeeper made a bit of a meal of it, but kept it out. And England, for me, the key is, Jim, the right-hand side of England's attack. Keep overloading that side, getting crosses in, and Bellingham just get in the box.
Half an hour gone. It's 1-0 to DR Congo. Harry Kane going up for the ball with Mbemba. He ended up on the deck. And again, the referee says play on. So the ball is worked down towards the Congolese left. Mutasami drifting out to the touchline from his defensive midfield berth. Linked up there by Siddiqui. Siddiqui, Twanzebe. Down to the right flank for Buku. A couple of little step overs from him. Short, squat player with a low centre of gravity. And very quick feet, darting one way, then the other. Trying to draw Nico O'Reilly out. He's got Mukau in behind him in support. Congo maintaining possession, go all the way back for Chancellor and Mbemba's a nice switch of play. And now they've got the goal scorer Sepenga up against Spence again, and he wants to take him on, shuffling through the penalty area, and still he goes, pulls it back towards the edge of the six, just headed away before it found Wissa. And England can clear. Rice on the stretch, couldn't get a toe poke to it, and back come DR Congo again. England losing their defensive shape worryingly. The ball sails in past Pickford, straight out of play for a goal kick. But that's what England need to do. Create the space on the overlap. Sepenga then getting it, running at Spence. And England have shown a reluctance to do that at the other end.
Yeah, there's a real worry, England defensively. I've got to say, my heart's in my mouth every time they're defending anything around the box. But going forward, this right-hand side, Madueke, really great opportunity just then to play the ball from Bellingham to Madueke. You can't turn those balls down.
Anderson. And it's flicked off Wan-Bissaka's head, now to play for a throw that'll be taken on the England left. It's back for Declan Rice. Rice to Anderson again. Now to O'Reilly. England drawing the blue shirts towards them, trying to create space in more central areas. O'Reilly drifting into one of those, plays it into the feet of Jude Bellingham. It just goes the way that he's facing. Back from him to Mark Gahey, now to Konsa. Konsa out to the England right-hand side. Noni Madueke getting to the byline, chipping it in. Bellingham was waiting by the penalty spot, didn't get there. Anderson then heads it in, next phase of play. And as O'Reilly retreats to the penalty area, he's inadvertently tripped his man, but it will be a free kick won by Mukau.
Jim, we're running aground on the left-hand side a little bit, but on the right-hand side, all we've got to do is keep giving it to Madueke. I've lost count of the times he's been beyond Masuaku, not delivered great crosses as yet, and that should send a message out to both Bellingham and probably O'Reilly. Arrive in the box when Madueke's about to receive the ball.
A possession at the moment, 53-47 in England's favour. Attempts 2-1 in the Congolese favour. And Jude Bellingham's 30th minute header, which is the only England attempt, is their longest wait for their first attempt on goal in a World Cup game since records began back in 1966, which is a very inauspicious statistic. It was a bright start from England with the tempo that they were playing at the first 6 or 7 minutes. They conceded the goal to Sipenga, alarmingly fell away. They've been able to regroup during the hydration break, but this certainly so far has not been the performance of a potential World Cup winner, or even a potential World Cup quarter-finalist, you'd have to say. Rashford over the top here towards Kane, bringing it down. Harry Kane can't quite get the shot in. Loose ball deflects out of the right-hand side of the penalty area. Madueke's done well, beats his man. Still he goes, back through the 6-yard box, and a right-footed effort is cleared off the line. Rashford's shot, and Wan-Bissaka was back there, the foot of the post, to be able to smuggle it away. Better from England, but still they can't find the equaliser yet. They'll come again. Bit more belief in the England fans here in Atlanta now. Towards Declan Rice. Rice near the edge of the centre circle. And it goes towards Konsa. Coming in off that right flank. England will be able to bring it forward. As Spence and Madueke combining, they get a corner. Ball still in, didn't quite go out. Comes towards the edge of the penalty area again. Another left-footed shot. That one is blocked. It was Ronnie Madueke's effort. Pickford picking the ball up on the halfway line, now towards Konsa. Konsa out of the right for Rice. Madueke. Bellingham made a run down the inside right channel. It was just cut out away from him. And Rice will be able to pick the ball up inside his own half. England once more able to build. They're trailing here 1-0 on TalkSport. Don't forget later on TalkSport, Belgium-Senegal is a 9 p.m. kickoff. That's on TalkSport 2. As O'Reilly fouls his man, and there's a Congolese free kick just down by their own dead ball line. So Belgium-Senegal coming up. It's a 9 o'clock kickoff. It is on TalkSport 2, because here on TalkSport we're going to have all the reaction to this. And let me tell you, there will be plenty of reaction. Sports Bar open for business at 8 with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, who I know are already seething. I can feel it. A lot of discontent at the moment, but nothing that a couple of quick goals wouldn't sort out. Here's Noni Madueke, who may be the chief supply line. He's trying to take on Masuaku. Did he foul him? Referee says no. Madueke is holding his left shin. Play goes on. There's no foul by the Sunderland defender Arthur Masuaku. Ball goes out towards Sipenga. Sipenga coming in off that left flank, which has been very dangerous for England already. Now Mudasami, who's attempted just to drift out to the left and create another little overload out there to give England more to think about. He's drawing Anderson out of position and giving a few more problems for Spence. So frequently they've got 3 down that side at the moment. Ball switches down to this near touchline, which is the Congolese right, and the offside flag is up. England take a free kick quickly. 4 against 4, if they can get it forward here with Rashford. Kane making his way forward. Bellingham as well. Madueke is clear. And Rashford's just nudged it past his man. He's been brought down, and that will be a free kick 15 yards from the dead ball line, midway between the left-hand touchline and the left-hand side of the penalty area.
Well, it's very, very evident that for England to get a goal, you've just got to keep feeding the ball out to the right-hand side. Hopefully that message has been received now. Madueke's gone past his man on multiple occasions, as we felt that would be the case. We just need to get on the end of something in the box. Players have got to be patient and say, I might be operating in the middle of the pitch, but when it goes out to Madueke, he don't need any help out there. He needs me in the box as a target. And that last effort that was cleared off the line It was just deflected off of O'Reilly, took it past Kane, and Rashford was cleared off the line.
6 in the penalty area of this Declan Rice free kick, which is far too low. They made a mess of getting it away. Wan-Bissaka will be able to at the second time of asking. Big shouts from the England players. They thought that they saw an infringement inside the box. Play continues though with Anderson, Rice, a reluctance to switch the ball quickly from Rice. Has played it between the lines for Bellingham. Now it goes wide. Here comes Madueke again, taking on Masuaku. And it was a left-footed cross-come shot that was easily blocked. And Kipenga will be able to bring it away. And now he'll work it down the inside left channel for Johan Wisser, and it's easy possession for him. Gehi goes across to detail him. Ball played inside the area is handed away by O'Reilly. It'll come out on the Congolese right for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka with a little touch. Down the line for Mukau. The ball inside the box that England can deal with. And it's headed away by Rashford. They half leave themselves prone and open on the counter-attack though, England, when possession's turned over in an advanced position. And now O'Reilly has to come and block across from Mukau, which will give the Congolese their first corner.
Yeah, as I say, you would fully expect there'd be extra goals in this game. England claiming just earlier there was a little flailing hand there, potential handball, but for me, not a chance.
And Thomas Tuchel making that point. And nothing given. So corner on the DR Congo right. In towards the near post. It was a dangerous one. It took a touch off an England player. It was Anderson. He cleared the penalty area. Comes out for Wan-Bissaka. His ball for Kipenga. Right-footed away swinging delivery is easy to clear for Mark Gehi, who just stepped forward and made good contact with it. Sends his head around towards the far touchline. But England still trailing in a match in which they really haven't pulled up any trees. Performance that is not too far short of abject, and some would say it's back south of abject. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Back from Rashford. Rice to his goalkeeper. Pickford will clear, left-footed. He's spun the ball forward. He got enough distance on it, but it wasn't convincing. Bellingham beating Mutasami in the midfield. It was a lovely little backheel drag back by Bellingham, who was fouled. And a free kick will be taken by England. They're looking to try and take it quickly. That long switch is on, and Madueke was on his heels. And it wasn't played. Now Konsa can get it out to him. Spence will make a run on the underlap. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Delivers a cross, which is deflected off the covering Twanzebe back into him, and out of play for a goal kick. It's 1-0 to Congo with 3.5 minutes to go to half-time on TalkSport.
It is literally on all day long. I've lost count now of the times we got beyond their left back. We've got to deliver a better cross, and we've got to keep loading up the box, because if you're going to get a goal, that's where it's going to come from. And defensively, I've got a feeling at half-time I might even be looking at Anderson. I'm not sure what he's done in and out of possession, I've got to say, whether he'll drop Rice back into the holding line role and then look to maybe get Rodgers on.
Another ball through the penalty area. England have got lucky. Wisser's hit the post, and it should be 2. The Congolese getting the blue shirts forward. Aaron Wan-Bissaka with a delicious ball through the 6-yard box. He got it past O'Reilly. And Wisser had made the run between the two centre-halves. Pickford was beaten. It smacked back off the post. What a moment that is. It's a huge let-off for England, who should be 2-0 down coming at the half-time. They only trail 1-0. And that is now a saving grace. Is that an indication that the luck might be with England today? They'll work it for Kane at the other end. Round the goalkeeper's brought him down. And it's going to be a penalty to England, is it? Or is he going to produce a yellow card for diving? Referee has said that that is a dive. VAR will have a look at it. But the on-field decision is no foul. Faker Brothers, you had a great view of it.
I thought initially he was going over when the goalkeeper then came out and made contact. The keeper definitely did. And Harry Kane is incensed. He's speaking to the referee right now. He had his head in his hands. He cannot believe that the referee has decided he dived.
Yeah, like any good striker, he's left his legs there. I think he's... Yeah, that's what strikers do, you know, but incredible. It wouldn't be overturned if he's decided to go the other way. This is a difficult call. The player has left his legs there, but he's been caught as well.
Well, the VAR is having a look at it still, so maybe it will get turned over. No, it hasn't been. There's no yellow card for a dive, but no penalty. Kane, you described it perfectly, Stuart. He left both legs in there to initiate the contact with the goalkeeper. And had a penalty been given, there was absolutely no way that it would have been overturned. But they didn't think it was a clear and obvious error, and we carry on.
What an incredible 60 seconds in World Cup football for England that was. Having our post hit at one end, nearly forcing a penalty the other. We stay 1-0.
Anderson to O'Reilly, back for Gahey to Konsa, gets Spence to his right hand side, forward through the midfield towards Noni Madueke. Be interesting to see if that change is made at half time, that Stuart's abdicating, taking Elliot Anderson off and maybe bringing Morgan Rogers on. Rice will make another run forward down the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's going to emerge with the ball. He's laid it back here for Rashford. Rashford opening up the angle, trying to get it onto his right foot for a shot. Couldn't get past three blue shirts. And between them, they get it clear. Ball bounces in the centre circle for Ezri Konsa. England trailing 1-0. We're about to go into first half stoppage time. Anderson out of the right-hand side again. Madueke attacking with pace, but the ball in was poor. He's being able to deliver crosses now from those wide positions, getting the better of Masuaku every time he takes him on, but the deliveries are not good enough. 6 minutes of added time to come.
Well, as you say, Masuaku can't deal with him at all, but what Madueke's got to do is make sure that he doesn't get breathers in the wrong times. He's got to keep pressing. He is the one man that can unlock this back line.
Another ball over the top, and Nico O'Reilly will try and defend. He's done well. Stay goal side of Mukau. Lays it back for Jordan Pickford. FIFA have obviously decided to have a temporary dispensement with the rule that you get a yellow card for brandishing an imaginary yellow card at the referee. Because there were at least two Congolese players did that when Harry Kane went down, but having seen the angle from the camera behind Harry Kane's run, I don't think England can have any complaints that a penalty wasn't given. Here's O'Reilly bringing it forward. O'Reilly to Rashford down the left-hand touchline. O'Reilly will get there down by the corner flag and has been able to win a throw that he's looking to try and take quickly. He's pulled it back here for Declan Rice. Rice is 15 yards outside the penalty area. We've played 90 seconds of the 6 additional minutes here on TalkSport. Another chance to deliver from the right. Better ball in, flying header from Bellingham, beaten away by the goalkeeper. Nearly in again from Rashford, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. That's the service that England need to provide. Throw enough of those in and they will win.
That should be the blueprint from the offset. Madueke now, he cannot have a rest. He can't do that. He's got to keep screaming to his teammates, give me the ball, I've got the beating of this fullback, and keep putting the ball in the box. I thought he should have took Masuaku on just then. It was lazy, but it was a great ball in.
Now Congo will try and break quickly. Spence did well. He's so quick. He got back, got goal side. There's a free kick to England, and they're just taking their time about taking it.
They don't understand that taking their time, Jim, suits the Congolese.
Rice to Bellingham. Bellingham down the inside left channel. O'Reilly is waiting for a ball to be played back. If Marcus Rashford can find him, and he can, it's played back in towards O'Reilly here for Rice. Rice threaded through towards the edge of the area where Bellingham's attempt to turn is a fruitless one. Now with England having their most advanced defenders on halfway, there is space for the Congolese to try and attack on the counter-attack, and Wissa getting it forward here again for Sipenga, the goal scorer, taking on Spence, trying to cut inside, and he beats Spence, but it was hooked away over his shoulder by Konsa, and England can get it forward here with Rice, but not at a great tempo. He has found Kane, good turn. Kane out towards Madueke. Now he's got to hold it up and wait for the cavalry to arrive, but Rashford's getting in there in the penalty area. And here's Kane on the edge of the box. Kane challenged by Mudasami, but he's still got it. 6, 7 blue shirts, 8 blue shirts back behind the ball now. Madueke has it. He's got to try and run it into big Masuaku, but he can't. They're doubling up in front of him now. Masuaku and Sipenga, between them, have done well to be able to bring it away and stop this latest attack. There are 2.5 minutes to go to half-time here on TalkSport. England trailing, but they have been bang average. So disappointing. A terrible performance in so many ways, and yet you would look at it and think that if they can ascertain exactly what it is that is going well on the pitch and hone that a little bit over the half-time interval, they will still win this game.
I agree with you there. They're creating enough chances. At the moment, we're looking at 2 defences that look as though they can concede a goal at the drop of a hat.
Only one of them has, though, and it's not the Congolese. And they'll come forward again. England got to make sure it's not 2. Here's Sipenga, left-hand side of the box. Spence blocks the cross, and Gahey knocks it away. And the offside flag was up anyway. It's a free kick to England. 90 seconds to go to half-time. Pickford spins the ball down outside the box, looking to take it quickly. Doesn't fancy the long one. He's rolled it short into the feet of Elliot Anderson, who will bring it forward through the midfield. England trailing, as they have done since the 7th minute. Mudasami fouls Anderson. Free kick on halfway, taken from the wrong place, but he's got it through towards Bellingham, and play's allowed to go on. Madueke's got it again. England have already created one decent chance in stoppage time. Will they be able to create another here with O'Reilly playing it down to Marcus Rashford. Rashford to Rice. Back for Jude Bellingham, coming in off the left flank. He's still got it, Bellingham. Aerial pass out towards Madueke. Masuaku shuffles across, first time ball in. Rashford coming around the back, and he might get there after Wan-Bissaka's defensive header can't get it out of the penalty area. And then who got the last touch as it goes over the line? It is an England corner right at the end of the half.
We've got to work out that we've got very few chances that have been created from our left-hand side, but we've got a multitude from the right. Keep giving it to Madueke, and he's got to work himself out. He's tired now. He wants a rest, but you can't have a rest. You've got to keep going and keep going. Mental strength is needed from his point of view.
You can have one in a minute, literally a minute. You can have a 15-minute rest. England need him. He's the potential match winner here. Ball inside the area for the corner. Kane! Straight at the goalkeeper in the near post, who blocks it. Smart save. He got down. Kane peeled away. Hit it right-footed. Such a valuable save from the Congolese goalkeeper, who got the crown jewels in the way. And that will see England behind at half-time. Substandard performance. They could be 2-0 down. They've had one cleared off the line. A couple of brave saves from the goalkeeper. So much work for England to do here. They've never lost to African opposition in a World Cup match, but they're trailing DR Congo by a goal at half-time in Atlanta, and things have to get better.
Well, DR Congo have got a player called Mukau, and this is a load of ball from England. There's Jude Bellingham running off down the tunnel. The rest are just slouched, ambling. And Noni Madueke, listen, he's had so much of the ball, and how much end product has there been? Nowhere near enough, and he's looking tired. He's barely played all season. Jed Spence breathing heavy at the end of the half. Can't even get in Spurs' side. Why are you tired? How unfit
to the Congolese. There have been a substitution and an injury in stoppage time, but there's 2 minutes to go plus whatever time gets added on for those. Maybe 3 minutes of football left. 2-1 to England after Harry Kane has bailed them out. The header and a rasper. Forward they come with Joris Kayembe. Ball into the feet of midfield. Firing in Edo Kayembe. Right-footed ball over the top. Conce has got to watch it. He's watched it onto his head as he backpedaled quickly, got it away. And then another throw goes England's way. Another opportunity won by Bukayo Saka to just run the clock down a little bit. And the Congolese look beaten. And they will certainly leave with heads held high. Well, they've given England an almighty fright here. But England just 2 minutes or so away.